Well, everybody, you won't believe who's cancelled a video too deep into production, but it would be me, and I am here to rectify that by making it into a second channel unscripted video, because there's still some things to say about it. Now, from the title, you would have noticed that I'm pretty sure, now I haven't titled it yet, because you see, that's how it works. I'm still working on it. Titles could change. I haven't really thought it through that well. But I think what the title of this video will be is Top 5 Video Essay/Analysis Videos of 2022, and then in brackets kinda or something, and I'll put a ... I was planning, obviously, on making it a main channel video. It was going to be the last main channel video of last year. It was going to come out on December 31st or something, or January 1st. It was going to be the first video of 2023 then, and then it was going to definitely come out in January. We're very close to the end of January, and for the last few days, I've already decided that it's cancelled. So basically, it got out of hand. These sort of time-sensitive videos always get away from me because I'm lazy and I never actually get videos out on time. And especially, like last year, we did a very similar video, of course. We did the top 10 list. And I ended up, because that was actually taking so long to make, and I was like, if I make it one full video, it is going to come out towards the end of January. No, towards the end of February, and be so outdated on a video that most people aren't even going to care about anyway. Those videos are still my least, my worst performing videos of last year. So yeah, then I ended up splitting it into 2 videos so I could get the first part out in January, and then the second part did indeed not come out until like midway through February, and that was basically the first 2 months of the year. And then we all know the output of videos last year was not very good, and we're looking to do better this year, though we haven't exactly gotten off on the right foot because we're nearly through the first month and not a single video has been uploaded. This video is probably going to end up being like a couple thousand words, but probably like 10,000 words, which would probably mean it was going to be like 35 minutes, and I hadn't even gotten very far with it. I'd basically just scripted the honorable mentions, which is the 3,000 words you see now. So in the end, I decided to cancel it and work on videos people care about more. I do intend on making this video next year, though, and I've already began preparations for it. Now, for last year, which is 2 years ago technically, but for the list that we made in 2021, I didn't record which videos I'd watched, so when it came time to make the list, I sort of already had a mental list of the top 10 ready to go for 2021. It was a very strong year for videos, I think, and a very strong and easy list to make. Every video on it, I think, is very good. Let's see if I can recall it. I think the donkey videos were number 10. Craftsdorf was probably number 9. No, I think number 9 was the Joseph Montesilio Walking the King's Road videos. Then number 8 was probably Craftsdorf. Then number 7, I think, was Tamahiro. Number 6 was Preston, I believe. No, I think number 6 might have been Broe de Chanel, and then number 5 was Preston. Then, I'm forgetting. Number 4 was Anime Alphabet by B. Then 3, Matthew Matosis was in there, and then ContraPoints, and then Caribou-kun. Shabes ran away with the video of the year. See, I remember the whole list. They were all very good videos. I recall them all. This is all build up to say I don't know exactly how many videos I watched in 2021, but I know it absolutely was more than I watched in 2022. I actually don't know that, but I'm assuming it is. And that's because I decided going into 2022 that I would record every video I watched. And now it took me until like a week or 2 into January to actually get to 200 videos, because I had watched like no videos all year basically. And then I got to the end of the year and I started sprinting. I was probably at like 115 or some shit towards the end of the year. And I was like, all right, we got to watch some fucking videos. And so I really wanted to have 200 just to say that it was. 200 videos, I guess to some of you might sound like a lot. It's really not at all. It's less than 1 video a day. Now I've already started this thing for the coming year, for 2023, and I'm ahead of the date, which is a good parameter for me. If we follow this, then I'll have at least 365 videos on the list, but I'm hoping to have a lot more, because honestly there are days where I don't watch any, and there are days when I watch a few, like I watched these 2 today. But we're still recording things nonetheless, and hopefully I will be able to make the video next year, though maybe in a different form, which is actually something we will talk about. So compacted with all that, the fact that it was going to take too long, it was going to be outdated, the video isn't going to do well. Also the fact that I didn't really have a solidified top 10 list. And then during production, I ended up cutting that to a top 5 list. And now the top 5 is pretty strong, but even still, I'm not as passionate about it this year. And I think it just is because I didn't watch as many videos. So the fact that I didn't have a really good informed, view of this space or the video essay space in 2022, like I thought I did in 2021, led me to be like, okay, we're not saying anything that unique. It's not going to do well. It's going to be outdated. I already had to cut the list in half, etc. All compacted in me being like, well, this video doesn't really matter that much to me. So maybe we can just cancel it and basically make the video we are now, and we will go through what the list was going to be. Some of the honorable mentions, we'll go through this whole thing, I think, of the 200 videos and talk about which ones got good and video of the year contenders, etc. Do we want to talk about the categories? This is actually an interesting thing I was doing. I think maybe in November or something, where I was trying to, because a big thing in the 2021 list was I spent 7 minutes of that video, I think, memeing that video essay really didn't mean anything. And I've since reflected on that and realized that was stupid. And that video essay simply basically means an essay in video form. And an essay is basically an argument with paragraphs to back it up. And a video essay is that in video form, usually with voiceover, and it's scripted, and there's usually footage attached. And then I realized, and that's basically what a video essay is. It's pretty part and parcel. It's pretty simple. Now, an analysis video is much more vague. It could be anything that has analysis in it, I guess. I probably should just cut that from maybe even this title and all the titles moving forward. The problem with the last year's video and why I was confused was it was basically me trying to say that obviously video essay doesn't fit because all of these other videos that I want to talk about in this video aren't really video essays. So my problem was more so trying to cram everything into one term and a video essay being the closest. And then I was doing some weird mental gymnastics to say well, obviously video essay is hard to define because everybody would consider all these things video essays when they're really not. Some of these documentary type videos, etc. That was really just stupid. I think there is just a defined, pretty simple, as I've outlined, video essay definition. And basically what I want to talk about on these videos in the recommendation machine, as I termed it last year, was just a bunch of other videos that are all vaguely scripted and vaguely informative. And this was me still trying to cram everything into under the video essay subgenre, because we obviously had theory videos last time. So the theory video essay, which is a Preston Jacobs type of theory, which going into, I don't know how I feel about this, because would you consider game theory to be a video essay? Maybe. I guess it is an essay, but it's, I guess when we think about essay, because game theory usually does have an argument. It has a conclusion for its theory, and then it backs it up with a bunch of arguments, so it probably would count. And so would Preston videos, I guess. I guess all theory videos would count then. I think it does get more questionable when you get into the documentary type, where it's sort of just regaling, is that a word? Information. Is Did You Know Gaming video essay content? When it's just sort of them translating and then explaining things. Sometimes they do investigative pieces, which obviously needs argumentation or at least evidence to back it up. But I think evidence when presented is an argument. Basically, I guess the conclusion we're coming to here is that I'm still a little hesitant, a little confused. Now, more information now, this isn't the pause it's but is ASAP Science a video essay? Where it's just sort of repeating science to you? Now, in my head, these all fit into the same category of YouTube video. If you're interested in video essays, you're probably also interested in those types of videos. And there are other science type channels and stuff like that. So I think if I was to click on a video about video essays and somebody was to bring that sort of stuff up, especially one that's supposed to be basically a retrospective and a recommendation machine, I would want those types of things brought up. And it's probably what we would do moving into the future. But it's just whether or not they technically fit in other things. And I think all these ones do. Like, do the wackier ContraPoints, like talk segments, like character play things, do they count as video essays? And if they don't, what do they count as? Just like fictional pieces? I don't know. Mini movies? Home movies? I don't know. Then there's like the dry analysis, which definitely is a video essay. It's about it in its purest form. Are all political videos that are scripted like that video essays? Probably, because again, we've got the argument. The arguments, what do you call it? The thesis and the arguments. And more experimental type video essays is another interesting one where I'm not sure if it fits or not. Now, like polyphonic videos, where the music and the dramatic narration style kind of make the video while there is a thesis and an explanation of a text or piece. And there's also that Kimochi Warui hiding in public video, which is a more personal sort of tale of like the personal effect a piece of media has on you, which is really just explaining a story, kind of, and there isn't really arguments. It's actually been a while since I've watched that video, so maybe I'm misremembering it. But polyphonic also makes more, like recently has made more like companion pieces or almost commentary track type videos to like the Pink Floyd albums, etc. Do those count as video essays? I'm not sure. But the ultimate point is that all of these, I think, should be featured in these types of videos. So ultimately, it might be, is there a better term I can change the title to? Might be a more interesting conversation. But even then, I could literally change it to like the best YouTube videos of the year. But then like you bring in a bunch of other stuff. And it's kind of crazy. But this is something in the categories I was thinking about. And then more recently, I've decided, well, I haven't decided on anything, but I was thinking about potentially if we did, instead of doing a top 10 list next year, did sort of like a meme awards show. And I'm not actually trying to make an awards show that's super serious or anything like that. I'm just trying to format the recommendation machine in a manner of an awards show because it might be an easier way to talk about more videos rather than having a massive honorable mention section. The Cineflix style we did last, like in the 2021 thing, of like every time it would like each part of a list would be of a category. So one of them would be anime analysis videos and be like, oh, let's bring up all of the other ones we watched this year here, and then get to the end and be like, but the one we had to choose for the list is Anime Alphabet or whatever. And I think I did the same with video game analysis with Mathematosis, etc. That was an okay way to do it. The way I was planning on doing it in this year's video, well, last year's video, the video I was just working on, was to basically just have a massive introduction/honorable mention section where I would basically initially go through all the creators that were on the list last year but didn't make it to this year and talk about their yearly output. And then I would also talk about every other video of the year contender that I had on my Excel spreadsheet here, because I had a rating system: bad, mediocre, good, great, video of the year contender. So I'd go through and mention all of these and be like, these people had particularly standout years, and mention them briefly. Which would mean a lot of other people that in the first video were mentioned, in the first video, the first list were mentioned, wouldn't have been mentioned in the top 5, but we were also trying to cut down because, again, it was a top 5 list, etc. So, there are positives and negatives to each, all 3 options, not even just each 2. The way I did it the first year in 2021, the way I wanted to do it in 2022, and the way we might be doing it in 2023 with the Video Essay Awards type format, maybe. We'll get to that in a second, but also I did change the format going into this year because I wanted to have an okay option, because I felt like a lot of the times I was giving something good because it wasn't really bad, but it wasn't really good either. So now we've got terrible, bad, okay, good, great, video of the year contender. Funnily enough, no video of the year contenders yet this year. But we're not going to talk about this year's list, really. I don't even know if I'm going to re-bring up that spreadsheet. Now, usually as I'm watching videos, obviously we stream pretty periodically, and especially this year we've started streaming a lot again. If you want to know like my individual thoughts on videos as I watch them throughout the year, like if you show up to the next stream and you ask me to go through the whole list if you're curious, though you could just pause and look. Or if you wanted to ask me any specific questions about well really if you ever want to ask me a specific question about anything, you can just show up on stream, because usually we're just talking about bullshit and it's basically an AMA all the time. But yeah, so if you're curious about any of that. But yeah, so we sort of changed our rating system too. But if we go back quickly, because we're talking about categories of video essays at the beginning here. These are sort of the categories I came up with, which would be Video of the Year, Creator of the Year. This is kind of important because in the 2021 list, I said that Roe D. Chanel's output was insane. How she made so many good videos, basically one exactly a month, and they were all really long, like verging on 40 minutes each time, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. She continued that this year, and I had a line in the script that has now been cut because we're not making that video scripted anymore, that she would have been Creator of the Year again in 2022. So I think I think highlighting that, and specifically like consistency and output, would be a very interesting category. So Creator of the Year would definitely be a thing. Because there's like ContraPoints or whoever who's always making some of the best videos of the year, but they're making like 1 or 2 videos a year. So it's like, you ain't getting Creator of the Year. Other people like that too, like Matthew Matosis and all sorts of people. So that would be an interesting category. Almost the consistency category. Rookie of the Year, somebody who made their channel in 2023. The winner of this might not have even started yet, chat. How exciting. Looking to the future. And then we sort of break it down. Political Video of the Year, Anime/Manga Video of the Year, Gaming Video of the Year, Film Video of the Year, TV Show Video of the Year, Music Video of the Year, which sounds funny. Maybe we could call it Musical Video of the Year, but it's not about musicals either. I don't know. Music video already has a meaning. But you understand. Theory Video of the Year, Documentary of the Year, Top 10 List of the Year, which is an interesting thing, because Top 10 lists probably do count as video essays. Editor of the Year, Writer of the Year, Creative Edit of the Year. Now, these two are sort of separate categories. And again, like the Oscars or whatever, they do have editing and writing credits specifically, but like simply the best writer would be interesting. And simply looking at editing would be interesting. And the editing category could even be fun because it could highlight people that actually don't make videos, just like professional YouTube editors. And I don't think they get credit, right? They're probably mad about not getting credit for videos. So if we had an informed category highlighting the best of them, that could be interesting and cool. Creative Edit of the Year is basically AMV of the Year, but not just for anime. Like we could have manga music videos, that Lines in Motion video that I really loved from last year. And it really doesn't count as a video essay at all. So where would I mention it in our top 5 list? I did have a part to mention it at the end, to kind of say it was the actual video of the year as sort of a meme thing. But if we have creative musical edit, maybe is a better term for it. I also think there might be room for like a short of the year category, because some people do make little analytical shorts, which could be interesting. I don't know if I watch enough of them. But yeah, so Creative Edit of the Year would be like manga music video or anime music video or any other cool like musical type edits. I guess it doesn't have to be music. What the fuck is that dude's name? Black Sails Edit. I'm sure he'll come up. There are like all of these types of videos that are all fun. There's like one dude that does them all. I don't think he's ever done a Black Sails one, but if you look up like Harry Potter one, he does a bunch of film ones. Maybe this isn't a specific enough of a search term. The beauty of videos are kind of like what I'm talking about, though I don't always like those ones as much. It's like H.something edits. If I put Snape in. We are recording the screen, right? All right, I had a massive, my heart just moved because I was like, did I click record? But yes. I don't know, somebody will show up. You guys might know who I'm talking about without me even having to fucking find them. I give up. But nonetheless, those types of videos are great. I didn't really want to close that tab entirely. And yeah, so I think they should all be included. And this is maybe better, maybe it could just be like YouTube Video Production Awards or something. I don't know. again, help me workshop the title or something. I think this format could be fun. Nonetheless, this sort of gets into our categories discussion. But I suppose let's actually talk about videos. If I skim the introduction here, now everything you're seeing is a first draft, and there is probably complete, terrible, it's written completely terribly, right? So, and formatted and structured and everything terribly. So don't judge me if you pause to read it. Also, don't do that. But here we would go through everybody. Now, I actually haven't revealed the list on, well, if you tuned into streams often enough, you would have been spot on the list. But I guess if you're watching this video, this is sort of where we get into the nitty gritty, because we're going to scroll down and reveal the list. But we here go, what a neat little subtitle, Fallen Allies, where we talk about Donkey last year, was in the top 10 spot. And he did make some good videos this year. Donkey Kong December were his best videos. But he didn't actually make the list again. Justin Montecillo continued to make Walking the King's Road. That Crush Girls video was cool too, but didn't make the list. Krastorf only put out one video this year, delving into Dragon Ball villains, and it was fantastic, but he didn't make the list this year. Oh, and there's a gigantic Preston Jacobs tangent that's like 3 or 4 paragraphs long about how some Preston videos have sort of recently sacrificed fun for good theory crafting. And it's sort of the struggle of that. This is awfully written, by the way. I'm dreading anybody pausing to read it. Because it does go through all of his the last 5 years of his content, and sort of which ones were super entertaining videos and which ones sort of got bogged down in the minutiae of being very thorough in evidencing his claims. And sort of the conundrum of good theory or good video, ? Sort of highlighting Daenerys in the Page of Lies as the worst example of this, of a very kind of boring Preston series that's very thorough in a debate that he's basically been having in his comment section for 10 years, ever since he made the first actually fun video where he just throws a bunch of crazy claims at you. This is sort of the video series of actually I was right about all of this and there was a lot of evidence and I just cut it all from the first video. It's But yes, that's a very fun tangent that I would have liked to include, but also didn't make the list. And then we talked about B retiring and stuff, and how I didn't actually watch any of our videos this year. We talk about how Matthew Matosis didn't even make the list this year, but he did have that cool context sensitivity video. I can't remember if I gave it Video of the Year contender, but it didn't make the list. And also, ContraPoints only had one video this year that also didn't make the list. So we had a very new and flashy list. I think only there are 3 reappearing guests, and you could figure it out, which I think is a line in here I had at some point. You could figure out who was still on the list by who we didn't talk about here. But then I also go into a bunch of other honorable mentions, and it's sort of awkward in the script, and I was going to restructure all of this, but I never have to go through that trauma. I talk about how the Nerd Writer had a very good year, and The Painter Who Revolutionized Landscapes was a great video. Did You Know Gaming was doing great stuff. Cannot stress this enough. It's cool. And then I talk about the 2 different TCG meta-analysis retrospective series that are currently ongoing, with Swag Kage's Yu-Gi-Oh! One and Ruby Retro's Pokemon one, and how great they both are. I sort of compare them in this paragraph. I also talk about the Kaiser Beams, The Merry History of Looney Tunes documentary series, which I was shocked it didn't end up making the top 5 list. Though maybe because a lot of these parts had come out in previous years, and those are probably the better parts, so that might be why. But those were great. Even these Alex Lennon Spider-Man recaps videos I mention here. The last honorable mention. Oh, and then I have a whole section about my friends and how they make good videos. Jajaki Bacon, Elite RE, Ciclet, etc. But yes, that was all interesting. Oh no, I scrolled down and spoiled it. And then we will get to the actual list. And number 5 on the list, I did finick with the list a little bit. Number 1 was kind of always in place, but I did finick with the list. Number 1 was Pokemon Coliseum is the worst Pokemon game you probably never played, which was the Tamahiro video, one of our repeating list goers. Went from all the way from number 7 to number 5 this year. Incredible stuff. This video was really good. I had some notes about how great a bunch of the different points in the video were. her level of research, and her like general knowledge of the franchise, how she was also there as these games were coming out and sort of giving that perspective. Great stuff in this video. Everybody should watch it. And sort of about it's all good. Number 4 was the Oscars 2022 and the Death of Cinema, which was the best Rowie Deschanel video of the year. She climbed 2 spots also to number 4 from number 6, if I'm remembering my last year list correctly. It was another year where it was sort of like, hold on, I'm drinking, chat. Where I was, another year where Rowie Deschanel put out so many videos that were pretty good. Besides that one video with that one wrestling analogy that didn't work too well. But yes, and this was the one I chose as the best. I think I only gave I gave like every one of her videos besides the wrestling one great, except for 2 videos, which were the one here, which I ended up settling on as my favorite, and the Eyes Wide Shut one, her defense piece of that. Just, again, great videos. Every video is great. If you look on my... this, and we will sort of scroll through it in a second. There's like a lot of very consistent names. It's like I watched like 10 YouTubers this year, and that's where all 200 of these videos came from. And Rowie Deschanel is one of those YouTubers who I watch every video not even as they come out, but in the year I watch all of their videos, and I made sure to do it. And yeah, even in a year where I didn't watch nearly any videos at all. Number 3, How the Mighty Have Fallen. Caribou Coon all the way down to the number 3 spot. Absolutely embarrassing for him, crying into his pillow right now. He is the only person on this list that could in any way end up watching this video, so we better watch what we say. Because he did watch last year's list, but that was on the main channel. The Hinata's Best Girl and Margaritas Don't Know Why. This is basically 3 videos. It's also part 1 and a bunch of others for a bunch of other Naruto videos that are going to come out this year. Can't wait for that. This video is really, really good. Another great AMV open. I really liked the Will of Fire point. I love the it wasn't the art piece failed to entertain you. You failed to be entertained by the art piece and all that stuff. Skill issue. I remember that gag. I did rewatch the first bit of this video and these 2 full videos as I was making notes. But if we scroll down further, there are no notes for the next 2 videos because I didn't get around to rewatching them. I hadn't even finished the first draft, and we were nearly at the end of January, chat, right? It had to be cancelled. But yeah, so Caribou Coon videos, they all have just such a quality to them. He's probably the best creator still right now. Even if Rowie Deschanel maybe had a better year, when those Shapes videos come out, you better all take notice. But there is a lot of behind the scenes and research information that goes into, I believe, the 3rd part of the video. Wait, I can't remember. What was the 2nd part then? Because there was one called The Will of Fire, then the 3rd part of the video was the Hinata one. And the 2nd part is the behind the scenes information, sort of breaking down which directors do certain episodes and why certain episodes look similar. It was fascinating as somebody who's been a Naruto fan pretty exclusively of the anime. It was interesting. I didn't know most of the behind the scenes stuff. Yeah, and all of that is wacky. His Hinata worship is still a little weird. But nonetheless, we'll let him have it. It was a good video. Great video. 3rd best video of the year. Incredible video. Number 2, I'm spoiling number 2 and number 1, but number 2 was the Roblox oof.mp3 Bomber Guy video, and I even wrote I thought of this line, if you can believe it, while I was watching the video. It ties into the video. You'll understand if you've seen it. And number 1 is the Hideaki Anno problem by Steven. Last year, I believe Shabes, either in a comment or in a previous, something he said to me at one point, was that Steven was better than him. And I guess he was right, at least for this year. And this is maybe like one of the only 2 or 3 Steven videos I've ever seen. I think I watched the Berserk movie one that's actually like a bigger part of a documentary type thing he was doing on that whole studio. But the Hideaki Anno problem was the best video of the year. It was the one that entertained me the most. Incredible stuff. Made me want to watch everything Anno's ever done, even when I've only really ever seen his Ava stuff. We got to get through all of that. The documentary, for being 3 hours and whatever, it's super entertaining the whole way through. All the little Anno anecdotes and the quotes from him and everybody else. And I loved the inclusion of other... Usually I hate, especially when breadtubers get their friends to just voice shitty comments or whatever, and it's like, this feels forced. But having certain YouTubers reoccur as certain members of, like, Anno's background cast, that was a great touch. That was that video essay trope done well. But yes. And the Roblox one. Another thing Shabes had told me was that I should have watched the vaccine video last year, because if you remember, when I think I go on my breadtube rant before I get to ContraPoints, at the end of the, well, she was number 2, at the end of the second part of the 2021 top 10 list, he was like, no, you have to watch the H-Bomber Guy video. It actually is good. It's not just, because I had said, like, I don't really need to watch another video about you having to get vaccines. I'm sure it's good, Lamau. But I didn't watch any H-Bomber Guy videos last year. But I was basically proven wrong. Watch like the first 5 minutes of this video, and it's insanely enthralling. He is very good at making videos, this H-Bomber Guy. The way he can drag you in, and he immediately starts the video with no preempt, and it's just so good. But yeah, I wish I'd rewatched these two to have more to say than all of that, but those are the vague things I remember liking a lot. And I remember it sort of being a blowaway, like these two were going to be the top 2. It's great. You got to watch all 5 of these videos. I think this Brody Chanel one is only like 22 minutes long, even though all of our other videos are like 50 minutes long. But besides that, I think they're all over an hour. They definitely are. Some over 2 hours, or 3 hours even. Actually, it's just the one, which is the Steven documentary. And also, I mentioned the Lines in Motion video and how good it was at the end. That was what the list was going to be. I saved you the dramatization that I would have had in a actual top 5. And you got it unscripted here. So I don't even feel confident in saying like 2022 was a worse year than 2021 for videos, because I really didn't watch enough. And I'm trying to remedy that in 2023. But briefly, before we end this video, I expected this video to be much longer than this, but I'm kind of happy it's short. Not every video has to be massive on the second channel. If we go through the video of the year contenders, I gave the original Sam Hyde iDubbbz documentary meme video of the year contender. I remember liking it a lot at the time. Obviously, a lot of funny YouTube drama has come from that. And it's wacky looking back at it. I thought I was giving like the Hyde Wars follow-up mediocre, but it was just that reaction video. If we scroll down, what is this one? We scrolled all the way down. This one is the Nerd Rider painting video. It's probably his best video of the year. We got a Looney Tunes documentary, the Meta video on not on YouTube, on what the fuck was I talking about? The TCG Yu-Gi-Oh! Meta. But even as you scroll down, I did include the Pokemon Challenges video, which I don't know if that is a video essay. Maybe we should have edited drama piece, and that could include Pokemon Challenges videos, Jaden Animations videos, even those actual like character ContraPoints videos. Maybe we should write that down as we go. Best drama. Where do we include it? Best narrative video of the year. We need to get rid of the best at the beginning of this, huh? Because none of them are like best anime video of the year, just narrative video of the year. That one really only got a great. I'm pretty sure those Pokemon Challenges videos are pretty good. But I feel like, yeah, I would have mentioned all of the video of the contender ones, but those are the 2 Brody Chanel ones, the Kraftsdorf one. And I was also talking about like a bunch of these are Brody Chanel, Preston Jacobs, Elite RE videos. They keep popping up. Lemino is on here. And I actually didn't rewatch his video, but I didn't remember it because I only gave it a great, not a video of the year contender. So I mustn't have thought it was that fun or exciting the first time through. But again, like what category would his videos fall into? I guess they're like documentary. Maybe I should have a science video category too. Let's just write it down. We can get rid of it later if we don't like it. science video of the year. Maybe the Let Me Know videos fall under theory video of the year or documentary video of the year. I'm not sure. But yeah, you can pause at any point and look at all of this if you really want to. I'm scrolling vaguely slow. I hope to watch more videos in 2023. I hope to have a more eclectic taste. If you ever want to tweet videos at me that I should add to my playlist, maybe I shouldn't show the playlist, though I show it on stream all the time. If you go onto YouTube, I actually have a playlist. And I've actually separated, because at one point I just had a massive, a massive playlist of all of my analysis videos / video essay watch later, and I just usually scrolled like newest to see them, but I've actually separated a 2023 one. I still have a bunch of videos in here. Do IGN game reviews count? They almost certainly do. But it doesn't feel right adding them. It's weird. But yeah, you can tweet videos at me if you ever pop by a stream. You can paste videos to me in the stream chat, and we'll talk about them and add them to the playlist. Anyway, you can contact me if you feel like you've just seen the video of the year and you really want me to watch it and consider it. That'd be helpful. So yeah, make sure I don't miss it. Make sure that next year for 2020, well, it'll be this year, but the video will probably come out next year, because I want to include all those December 31st uploads. Let's make sure it's an eclectic list or awards show, where I have a good grasp of sort of where video essays went in 2023. So that is my, not conciseness, but my contingency plan, I think is maybe the words I was looking for. A contingency for not making it a scripted video, and now I can rest easy at night knowing that some of this work actually will go to something, because at least we got a second channel video out of it. I think we've gone over everything: categories, definitions, the actual videos, how we're going to remedy this next year, our intent to watch more videos, how we've actually been kind of doing that already this year. Be on the lookout for the best creators whenever this next Stevem video drops, or the Caribou Coon videos drop, or the ContraPoints, or probably won't get a Matthew Matosis video this year. But etc. Whenever the big boys come out to play, it'll be interesting, and let's compare them all at the end of the year. When's the next time a hero video coming out? Crazy. We know Broey DeChanel will probably have one out this month. Because consistency, going for creator of the year. How about that? But with that being said, I think it's time to end the video. I expected this to be way longer, but I've gotten through everything I want to talk about, and I'm happy with it. So hopefully you won't be tuning in on this channel next year, but on the main channel. But everybody, get out, watch some videos, tell me about them, so I can make a better list next year and actually make a list, not actualize. With that being said, I'll let you go. Support links in the description below. Thanks.